updates.
Recording in progress.
Today, this is the March session. All right, we are having a few folks that's on the call as well. We have Kelly, we have Wilson O, Channel Research Director for APAC Research. We have Wilson O, Channel Research Director for Rosa. I'm Raymond Lee. I'm the Enablement Manager for APJ Resellers. Right? Who is solution engineer? I will go through a few things. First thing is safe harbor. This presentation contains forward-looking statements. Therefore, it's based on our beliefs and assumptions. So please do not hold us accountable for all the statements, right? But the thing is that we want to give you as much insights as possible of things that's coming. Just
recording in progress.
And then today's agenda, we have three items, basically opening address available for you, right? Reseller partners as well as our DocuSign e-signature product updates we sharing who will available through, right? Partners. With that, let me hand it over to Kelly. Signature product update who will go through, right? With that, let me hand it over to Kelly.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Raymond, and thanks everyone for joining our session today. I know in our time, I know things are opening up. Different countries, we are slowly going back to the office. I'm in the office. Some of my colleagues are also back in the office, but we're still back to back in our calls, and so I do appreciate your time in joining our session today. So just next slide, Raymond. So essentially, this is as Raymond suggested, this is a series of webinars that we will be doing on a more regular basis. Our goal is to be able to reach out to all our distributors, all our partners across the APAC region, and be able to share with you what is the latest and the greatest from the programs that we're releasing to the new features that we have coming on board in all our product offerings. So the first slide really is just to go through who DocuSign is. For those of you who may be new to DocuSign, when I before I joined DocuSign, I didn't realize it was a company. It was almost 20 years old. It was founded in 2003. We're headquartered in San Francisco, 14 offices around the world, 7,400 plus employees worldwide now, and this has grown tremendously in the past year, covering over 180 countries. We got over 1 million customer base enjoying the benefits of DocuSign. And really, what's the most exciting part of it is about the total addressable market. What we see through our research is there's about $50 billion, which is the total addressable market. This is at the global level. Just in APAC alone, this is about a third of that is actually could be addressed in APAC. So it's a tremendous opportunity for everyone that is on this call to get on this and really reap the benefits of working with DocuSign. So again, thank you very much for your time. This is all I got to share with you today, and I hope to see you again in the next few sessions as we roll these webinars out on a regular basis. Raymond, back to you.
Thank you, Kelly. All right, so I'll go to the next section. It's on maintenance and collaterals available for you. All right, let me just go through a few things, right? So in APAC reseller, you can see that we actually have 3 tiers over here, right? All of you should be resellers that's under a distributor, all right, or direct resellers. But for reseller under distributor, there are 2 sets of partners that we work on, right? One is distributor managed resellers, and then we have DocuSign managed resellers, right? So these are the 2 distinct difference between them. We can see we have actually 6 stream lanes, right? And then like from bottom we have the natural. And the light enablement is created for the digital resellers because it is really light. It's a very short training. They have foundational experience and advantages that we actually are working on to for our managed reseller partners, right? And then we have our product releases, right? So what we have, I have based on roles, they are the sales team, and then we have the pre-sales team, where we always name them solution engineers, and then we have the consultants, right, that actually do implementations, right? So based on that, also you can at the top you can see that we have the product releases, and then we have our momentum and developer forum that's available to help to make sure that the partners are up to date in all the different products that's available, similar to whatever we are doing on this session, right? Okay. At the bottom, you can find that there are some collaterals I have created, and we actually go through some of them over here in this call, right? We have the deal registration template, reseller cheat sheet, we have the use case, and so on and so forth. Those items are available, and a lot of them are already within the learning path itself. Let me just go through them by each of the roles. First one is sales. All right, for sales, we created the sales learning path. So this is launched only last 2 weeks ago. And then I'm going to go through that with you. And then we're actually working on a foundational training, which is DocuSign Sales Executive e-signature for resellers. Is kind of a streamlined one that is just for e-signature for resellers that have. And then for experience, we are looking for future, right? We are looking into maybe doing up integrations and are looking at whatever we need to do for advanced, right? So we have the sales folks. These are the things available for you right now. And then after that, we have the solution engineer. We created a solution engineer Lite as well. And then we are going to create a accreditation for solution engineer, e-signature reseller. Actually, we should cut a few items. And then, of course, the experience one, we are talking about the e-signature 2.201 items. And then something that I'll work on for the advanced one. For the consultants, I am still working on adoption consulting learning path for you. So you can see that that's why it's in yellow. All right. And then after that has been done, you can actually go and look for the accreditation that's existing and available already under DocuSign University. So the DocuSign e-signature implementation consultant, and then we'll look at other things like integrations, right? We Salesforce, Gen, negotiate, and so on and so forth. And then maybe in the advanced one, we'll talk about certifications and maybe technical support courses as well. Right. So this is like the overall framework. And then what I want to let you know is these are completed. We actually even did for the sales executive enablement Lite as well as solution engineer enablement, we actually did a pilot, and we have 14 sales partner sales folks actually participated, and then we have 2 solution engineer participated, and our NPS score was 57 for sales and 100 for sales engineer. And then what we are trying to do is that for sales, right, you actually most likely you have went through our sales orientation, right, with our PDR, and then you go through your sales enablement Lite, and then you can use the collaterals. And for sales solution engineers, so solution engineers and sales are actually tag team, right? So whatever the solution engineer, whether the sales will go through, solution engineer must know as well. So you have to just go through the same thing as what the sales go through. It's very light, right? Sales executive and Lite, and then do your own, which is more on like how to do demonstration and some of the technical stuff that is required for you to know on the solution engineer Lite, and then the collaterals itself. Okay. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put on the Q&A panel. I'll come to it later on. Right. So let me just go through the reseller enablement Lite. Currently, it resides on a Word document, all right, because I want to roll it up as quickly as possible. I'm working to put it into DocuSign University, but currently these are how it looks like, right? So basically it is a set of videos and collateral links, right, that you can click through. And then at the end of all the trainings that you go through, there is a last item, which is see, there's last item over here, which is the survey, right? Once you've completed the survey, you can actually, it's considered you've completed. So you can see that later we'll go through, right? For example, partnership sheet, the use case persona, the deal desk registration template, and these are some useful links that is available, right? So let me just go through one of them, right? So here you can see that, right? Make sure you, after you finish completing all of them, you make sure you complete the survey, all right? We're using the survey to track your completion. So like, for example, let's say I get started on DocuSign signature. It comes like a YouTube channel video like this, right?
So
and
you
you start
can email
playing.
to sign a document with
Okay.
DocuSign.
So let me
Now,
make it softer a bit so I can
start.
hop on top of them. So one of the things is that some of YouTube channels have already have individual languages that's been translated already. All right. For those languages that have not been translated, we are actually looking into it. So for example, if you want traditional Chinese, it can actually be translated to Chinese accordingly. So how you do it is that go to the panel under this settings, goes to subtitle, and then these are the sets of languages that's been translated, including Korean and Japanese, right? So this is one of the ways to do it. Okay. All right. So that is on our reseller enablement light. So we have the sales one and we have the solution engineer one. All right. Solution engineer, please take note that you actually need to go into the portal. So you need to have portal access because all these trainings are not just videos, they are actually courses within our portal itself, our DocuSign University. Okay. Next, I'll talk about this. We call it a click-through demo, right? So a click-through demo basically is a website that actually clicks through how you do a demonstration for e-signature. All you need to do is fill in all the information, right? And after you fill in all information, they will just say that okay, you can actually go through the click-through, and then it goes through one by one. So let me just show you how it looks like, right? So this is the click-through. You just need to fill it up. After you fill it up, right, it comes to here. Click on Show Me. All right, you'll go step by step, right? Step one, select your document, and then click on Next, right? And then it will tell you, okay, this is to add your recipients, right? And then, right, goes to the next one. These are the recipients you added, those that you need to sign, or you need to, receive a copy or whichever. Just select accordingly, and then you just walk through, right? Really walk you through every single one in terms of signing order, in terms of what's the next thing you need to do. Like you need to add a document. So this is the document, right? So I won't go through everything. You can actually go through it yourself, right? So drag and drop, right? We can allow it, just show you. It really show you step by step, right? Like a interactive video. Okay, right? So this is with regards to the click through. The next item I want to share with you is the partner portal, right? So this is our partner portal, right? You need to register in order to get into our partner portal. If you have not registered and if your company have not signed the NDA, please do so, all right, by emailing partner@docusign.com, right? They will actually help you with that. So there's a login here. Once you log in, this is the partner portal that you actually look at. Right now, we are advertising for our momentum, right? We have Partner Day on April 4th. And then we can see that there are a lot of things that's available, right, in the partner portal. One of it is called DocuSign University. And within DocuSign University, what it meant is that it is the portal whereby you can actually take a lot of the trainings available. So let me just show you how the portal looks like. This is kind of like the front page before you log in. So you just click over here for you to log in. All right. So once you have login, all right. For me, I have already gotten the login, right? Once you have login, what you have is that you will actually see over here. This is the partner portal with all the opportunities or where things that is available for you. All right. And then of course on here you have the DocuSign University. Just click on DocuSign University, you'll come to the DocuSign University page. Right. It is being done in very easy to navigate, right? Whether by accreditation, by certification, by role, by products, for example, e-signature, CLM, data insights, CRM plus, and integrations, right? Right, and then we also have our partner portal that's what the US team are doing, right? I normally what I recommend that it goes to the accreditations, right? We have the sales executive accreditation. I already completed it. I got my badge as well. And then there is the e-signature implementation consultant, right? This is already available. This sales executive one is a combination of everything, right? E-signature as well as CRM. What I'm creating right now is just the e-signature portion of it. All right, I'm updating some of the stuff as well. Okay, so this is our partner portal. The next item I want to talk about is the due registration template. Right, so I have created a due registration template for you to fill in, right, all the information that is required for a due registration. Right, due registration is available to protect you so that our internal DocuSign are not able to go and talk to your customer accordingly. Once you have registered the deal, make sure that you have the full rebates that you have. All right. So these are the information that needs, right? Like company name, shipping address, all the extras are the main ones. And then we actually came out with as well 7 mandatory qualifying questions that you need to key in. After you key in, all right, then you will have to make sure that this is a qualified deal registration, right? You have to submit all this, right? Will be submitted after you fill in everything. You will submit all this over to your distributor, and they will do a deal registration for you. All right. And let me just show you how it looks like, right? So when you click on the link, basically it asks you to download an Excel file. Once you download an Excel file, this is how it looks like, right? So this is the information just you saw, right? This is the general information, this is the touch point details, and these are the 7 mandatory questions. So if let's say I say that first question, what kind of documents do you need to work for signatures? Let's say I put NDA, sorry, I spelled wrongly, NDA, right? You can see that once I fill this up, all these questions here are updated accordingly. So you don't need to like, oh, I fill in here, I still fill in here. It's all being done properly. So all this is being done. After this is being done, you have filled all this as here on this particular page. You just need to forward this particular Excel file to your distributor, and they will actually register for you. What they will do is they register based on all this in the portal, and then they will do cut and paste on all this information over to the portal as well. So you can make sure that you get a deal registered, right? These are the 7 questions that are mandatory. If you look at the other tab under qualifying questions, there are other questions that's available that we actually set up for you, right? You can see that all the green ones are the mandatory ones that we already done. And then whatever that you fill up, similarly, I actually make sure that it's being filled out accordingly as well. All right. So these are some of the questions that are available for you to kind of like, if you want to ask more questions, dig deeper, right? Other than the mandatory questions, what are the questions that's available that we should ask, right? Just to help you to kickstart the discovery session. Okay. So this is the deal registration template, and then right now I'll hand it over to Wilson, who will actually talk to you with regards to reseller cheat sheet.
Raymond, I think I will let Sanghan do the product update first.
Oh, okay. We can't hear you, Shanghoon. You might be on mute.
Thanks, Raymond. So next part is the talking about the DocuSign e-signature product update. So before moving details, so let me highlight the what is the regular update of the DocuSign Agreement Cloud. So each year we have the 3 big release on plan. So every April, August, November. So this period around, so we regularly updating the e-signature service pack and admin related capabilities and mobile connectors and CRM capability and insight as well. So you can expect that some of the big update might be happen. Every release is coming up, and also those are communicate with the customer and prospects and also in the media as well. So we are preparing this announce very soon. And before going for that, so we try to share this update with the partner first. So, okay, so our official announcement to our customer will happen April 12th. So it's Pacific time 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So our speakers from our product team will officially release that this feature will be available very soon. So as a partner, so if you want to share this information to your customer to make sure that customer can get update this release is coming soon. So you can use this registration link to provide to your customer to joining this release briefing. So moving forward, so what is updated in this release? So first of all, we released the e-signature capability with the Zoom application, which I use for this webinar today as well. So you can ask to join your signers in a Zoom session. So in a Zoom session, you can hand over the control to your signers, and your signers can sign the place relevant to signing. At the same time, you can explain that what is the terms detail, contract details. So you can question and answer each other and then signing one by one. So make sure that everything is correctly happened. So let me show the video that how it is working.
Today, we're going to review how Tally uses DocuSign e-signature for Zoom to reimagine the agreement experience with secure, virtual, face-to-face signing experiences. Preston Stanfield is a sales representative at Tally. A lot of his client agreements are done in person. However, lately, he's been doing things remotely. It's important for him not to lose the personal face-to-face interactions with his clients when getting agreements signed. Today, we will show you how you can use DocuSign e-signature for Zoom to allow you to give signers that face-to-face interactive experience without requiring either party to go through the hassle of meeting in person. Preston and his client, Sarah Connolly, are preparing for a contract negotiation. Before they can start, Sarah needs to sign an NDA agreement. He adds the template for the sales NDA. Because this is a sensitive agreement, Preston wants to verify Sarah's identity, so he adds SMS authentication. He then hits send. Preston receives an email back from Sarah. She has some questions and would like to discuss the agreement together and sign. Now the time comes for Preston and Sarah to meet. Preston opens up the Zoom meeting, finds the DocuSign e-signature for Zoom app, and opens it. He searches for the agreement and opens it rather than asking Sarah to search through her inbox. He is then prompted to pass control over to Sarah. Now, the great part about this integration is that instead of Preston sharing his entire screen with Sarah, he's only showing the relevant agreement. Sarah doesn't see his desktop or a browser window or even any of Preston's other client agreements. Only the relevant agreement in the e-signature for Zoom app, eliminating any potential security concerns. Because Preston added the ID verification option, Sarah is first prompted to enter a code she received via SMS. She adds the code to finish the ID verification process. DocuSign accepts the verification, and now Sarah can see the agreement. Sarah has some questions about the agreement, so she points to some areas, and because they are live, Preston can easily answer any questions or concerns she has. She fills in the required fields and then is able to apply her signature in real time. With DocuSign e-signature for Zoom, Preston was able to not only get the agreement securely signed on the spot, he was also able to provide Sarah a white glove experience. All Sarah needed to do was hop on a Zoom meeting.
Okay, so this Zoom meeting capability with DocuSign, so it enables your customers signing and communicating with the initiator of the designing process more easily. Explain that what is the term and conditions in a signing document. So next update is the scheduled signing, sending, and also delayed routing. Those are set of the capability that we newly launching. So when you send out the envelope in DocuSign, so previously there is the only option that just send out immediately. However, today we released the capability that schedule what date and time you want to send out this envelope. So by this, there are some situation that almost Friday, end of the Friday, or some specific country there is the holidays or some reason that some leave on leave, if your signer is on leave on vacation. In that case, you want to make sure that if the person is returned to work, then they will see this email immediately to address about this signing request. So this capability is now available in DocuSign to send out scheduled sending. And the next one is the you can set some delay routing to specific signer. After the one signer has been signed, then you can make some delay to next signer. So the purpose of this might be related with some regulation, but also it can be delayed for internal reason or any reason. So you can make it possible to delay certain dates or certain hours. So after a previous signer signed, so those cool time will be applied until the next signer receive the email notification. So let me show this capability demo in a video.
In today's busy world, it is critical for you to have flexibility around when you send your agreements because you often need to prepare the agreement ahead of time. Today, we're going to show you how customers can use DocuSign e-signature to automate some of the manual steps in their agreement preparation to save them time and reduce errors. For this use case, we will demonstrate how to use two powerful new features, scheduled sending and delayed routing, in order to digitize a loan closing process. Larry Lee is a loan closer and is getting ready to send his borrower the mortgage document. It is late on a Friday afternoon, and he wants to send the envelope Monday morning at 9 a.m. The loan does not close until next Thursday, March 10th, but he has a legal requirement to give his borrower access to the documents at least 3 days ahead of time in order for them to review and make any necessary adjustments. Larry will start by entering his borrower, Christine Nori, as the first recipient. In this template, the first recipient is a CC recipient. Larry will then add Christine as the second recipient, this one as needs to sign. The template is set up in a way so that the borrower can first view the documents and then gain access to signing when the mortgage officially closes. Before delayed routing, there was a workaround that required adding additional recipients among other manual steps, and it was very prone to errors. With delayed routing, Larry can automate all of this by simply adding a time delay. As you see here, this template was created with a default delay of 3 days. As a sender, you can delay by number of days and hours or until a set date and time. In this case, Larry knows the loan closes on March 10th, so he will set the envelope to delay to be March 10th at midnight to ensure that Christine then has access to sign the documents. Larry is ready to send the agreement to Christine. However, as mentioned earlier, it is late on Friday and Larry wants it to be sent at 9 a.m. on Monday to ensure it doesn't get lost in Christine's inbox. Larry clicks this drop-down arrow next to send now and then clicks send later. A modal opens up where he can specify the date and time for the envelope to be sent. In this case, he'll set it to be Monday, March 7th at 9 a.m. and then click send later. After scheduling, the envelope lands in the drafts folder with a new status of scheduled. Larry can hover over this info icon and see that it will be sent on March 7th at 9 a.m. Larry can also click into the envelope details to see specifically when it's scheduled to be sent, and he'll see that there is a delay or hold added in the routing order. With these two features, Larry was able to easily automate this agreement process, eliminating manual steps and ensure the documents were sent and available for signature at the appropriate times.
Okay, let me move on to the next capability to update. So now we support the joint agreement for DocuSign e-signature. This is the use case for B2, B2C scenarios. So you can think about the insurance reseller, for example. So insurance reseller typically selling multiple different companies' insurance policies, such as the one reseller can sell from A insurance company, B insurance company, C insurance company. Sometimes they make some combination of the policy. One came from the A insurance, another one came from the C insurance. In this case, the reseller insurance, this kind of B2B2C scenario, they need to pick up some documents from A insurance company, and some the others need to came from the C insurance company. So when they starting the envelope, this capability make them enable to pick up the documents from company A, which has been managed by company A, and also pick up the documents, another document from company C, which is also authorized the document from company C. So it makes the reseller more easier to bring all the necessary documents to the insurance policy signer, that they can include their own documents as well. So the combination of the insurance company A, but also the reseller's agreement term and condition as well. So make it more easier to packing all the documents into one envelope, more easier to send out to the signer. Let's see the video, how it is working.
With the joint agreement solution, you can grant another e-signature account access to specific documents in an envelope. Creating a joint agreement is similar to creating an envelope. You add your documents, recipients, and fields. However, with the joint agreement transaction, you can also include documents provided by another party, also called a network partner. The documents can include additional terms and requirements as defined by your network partner. Your recipients can sign all the documents in a single signing session. When the joint agreement transaction is completed, the network partner automatically receives an email notification with a link to review the documents. They can only view the documents you granted them access to. To get started sending joint agreements, you first need to open an invitation link to join your partner's network. Log in to your existing DocuSign e-signature account. If you don't have an account, you can create a free 30-day trial. Follow the prompts to send a request to join your partner network. You must be an e-signature administrator to perform these steps. You'll receive an email notification once your request is approved. To create a joint agreement, click Start and then send an envelope. Upload your documents, click the document menu, and select Set Document Access. Select your network partner's name from the drop-down list to grant them access to the document. You can also grant your network partner access to multiple documents or grant document access to different partners within your joint agreement. When you grant document access, the network partner is automatically added as a carbon copy recipient as part of the signing workflow. The network partner is notified once the envelope is complete and can view the selected documents. Continue adding your recipients. Depending on the network settings, you may be required to add a secondary verification method for signers. Click Next. You may also be asked to map information pre-filled in a PDF to DocuSign fields. Add additional fields if needed, and click Send when you are ready to send your joint agreement. Your recipients receive your documents and your network partner's documents in a single joint agreement transaction. They may be asked to verify their identity and agree to additional terms and conditions before reviewing the documents. Once the joint agreement transaction is completed, the network partner is notified and can access the documents you granted them access to.
Okay. Move on to next slide. Raymond, can you help to move to next slide? Okay. So the in this slide and next slide is relevant update for US only. However, I just want to quickly highlight about it because your customer may have the office in US as well. So the thing here is that the identity verification capability has some enhancement for US-based signers. So one of that is using photo ID to capture the information from photo ID to verify the identity. The other method to update is bank login ID is now able to utilize as well. The big bank in US such as BofA, Chase, US Bank, Capital One. So those authorization method is available when providing the identity before the signing. So also knowledge-based authentication such as the where are you born and what is your school to graduate, those kind of things are available as a database. So those will be available questions and answers to verify who is the signer. So this will be available only in US, but if you have your customer has branch in US, those might be helpful to verify. And also the notary capability is very popular in US as well. So we do have some updates about the notary capability. I believe this is this capability is not supporting in other regions. This is only available in US because of the individual notaries are registered for each state and we have the integration with this notary authorization and registration as well. So those are not available in other regions. So, but this one, I just want to highlight that this notary capability is very important in US, and it is keep updating. And perhaps your customer having interest to running DocuSign capability in US. So if they asking how to support the notary capability, then you can refer some further information if you require to understand more about the notary. So the next one is the integration with the Power Automate. So Power Automate is the very powerful tool to make the workflow to having some further actions after one process is completed. So we have some basic integration with the Power Automate, but this update, we make it more complete set of the update that configure the signing request workflow based on the Microsoft Power Automate. So let's see the video and see how it is working.
Today, we're going to review how Tally uses DocuSign e-signature for Power Automate to build customized agreement workflows that reduce manual tasks and automate business processes. Darren Randall is looking to build a workflow that will take a selected document from SharePoint, create an envelope, and send via DocuSign for signature. He wants the process to be as seamless as possible for the end user. The flow will automatically load a document, apply an email subject and message, add the recipient, add text to document fields, and pre-populate field data. To get started, he opens Power Automate, New Flow. Today, he's going to use the Instant Cloud Flow. After connecting to his SharePoint site, he now wants to create the envelope in DocuSign using the selected flow. He clicks New Step, add an action, searches for DocuSign, selects the connector, and chooses Create Envelope. Signs into his DocuSign account and specifies the email subject and message that will pre-populate the recipient email. Next, he specifies the file to add to the DocuSign envelope. He then selects Add Documents to an envelope and adds the SharePoint file. He first must convert it to base64 so DocuSign can process the file. Next, he adds the recipient to an envelope and adds the username and email as the recipient. Next, you'll specify the tabs by referencing anchor strings. Anchor strings can be used to denote what tabs should be placed automatically in the document. At Tally, they use the same anchor string convention across multiple document types. Here they use the /s/ to indicate the signature field. Usually the text is then colored white so that it's hidden to the end user but detectable by DocuSign. Next step, he adds tags for other fields. He can specify the properties of text fields like font, font color, and font style. For text fields, he can also pre-populate data by either hard-coding the value or referencing data from another system. Finally, he adds the action to send the envelope. Now any user can select the file in SharePoint, go to Automate, and select the workflow. He then checks his email inbox, clicks on the DocuSign email, and completes the document. Tally uses Power Automate to create customized, streamlined agreement work.
Yeah, here what the video explaining is you can configure the signing workflow, including who's the recipient and what is the email and what kind of the roles are included in the signing workflow. So after you set all this, you can call this workflow from your SharePoint file. So in your SharePoint, you can just before as you see, you can call select the workflow you set in Power Automate. So previously native the SharePoint integration was just hand over this document to DocuSign platform to starting the signing. So that's the only control that you can do before. But by this Power Automate integration, so you can specify from the SharePoint file what kind of the workflow it has to pass through for the signing purpose. So it can make more easier to control what kind of the signing process it has to be taken from the SharePoint files. So it make more easier to initiate the signing. And the other things that I want to highlight is the click integration enhancement. So Click is designed for such as license agreement or term and condition agreement that customer can adding this into the website, and the customer can click easily making some agreement for those purpose of the thing. But this enhancement, including the more seamless embedded experience, so make it more easier to embedding this capability to customer website, but also more easier to design colors, fonts, and styles, make it more branding is similar as customer side. So make it more easier, and look and feel is exactly a customer branding. It's more easier to configure by this update as well. And lastly, so you have the such enhancement for DocuSign organization management. So organization management capability is typically including in the enterprise plan only, but Business Pro also can add this organization management capability. So in here, so there's such experience such as the subject or envelope ID, or what is the template ID, etc. So those will be more easier to search and find some issues, and anything is more easier to using this enhancement as well. Okay, please leave me any question in the Q&A panel in our webinar. Let me hand over to Wilson.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Right, back to you. Wilson?
Thanks, Raymond. Thanks, Sanghan. So as like what Raymond mentioned, right, we have really like compiled a lot of collateral, right, that you can use. So I'm going to cover specifically on two documents, which can help you to better frame your conversation with your customer. So the first document is the cheat sheet, which will give you some of the high-level stats as well as some of the key value proposition. And then the second document is the use case and the line of business persona, which I will elaborate later, right? So just now, Kelly already talked about DocuSign background, right, during the opening, right? So whenever you talk to your customer, or when your customer comes to you saying that like they want to digitize their contract process, there are a couple of pain points that typically they're trying to address, right? One is the turnaround time of the contract cycle. And second thing typically is like they want to reduce their operating costs, right? Be it their logistic costs, their productivity costs, right? So I will not go through everything. I'll just pick up some key pointers, right? And like just now we have mentioned, right? Today we have more than 1 million paying customer, and we have more than 1 billion users who have used our platform before, right? So just a few pointers, right? First is that we have the simplest user interface and the strongest mobile experience, right? And today, we have more than 19 years of domain knowledge, right? So we have a very strong customer success and a professional team that can guide our customer to be successful in their transformation journey. And we have many customers in the regulated industries like banks, insurance, telco, right? So to them, the security and the platform availability is a very key consideration, right? So DocuSign, we have the strongest bank-grade security and the highest platform SLA in the market. And we have the widest ISV ecosystem, right? With more than 250 preview integration, right? So this make the customer like by adopting DocuSign, it is future-proof for them, right? They can expand to different use cases and integrate with different application, right? And just now, Sanghan already shared with you, right? Some of the key innovation. We spend hundreds of millions of dollars in our R&D. So we have a lot of features that we are always the first that we launch in our space that our competitor is going to take years to catch up, right? So second page of this cheat sheet, right, is some of the business information. Selling DocuSign is a business conversation, right? So depending like which industry, who are you talking to, what they care about is really about what is the business value to them, right? So we have compiled a lot of customer story on our website, right? So you can go to this customer story link. You can filter by industry. You can filter by the line of business, right? So for example, if you're meeting a financial service client, right? So you can like send them this like a credit union case study that like the loan booking process, they shorten from 10 days to just 1 day, right? And a lot of time, your touch point likely are the CIO and from the IT team, right? But with DocuSign, you can expand your reach to different stakeholders from different line of business, right? Like from the sales department, you can talk to the HR team about their recruitment process, their offer letter process. You can talk to the procurement team about their supplier onboarding, supplier contract, right? And this bring up the importance of the persona information, right? So I just want to take one example, right? So today, if you are talking to the HR department, the typical stakeholder is either the CHRO or the HR manager, and their KPI is like the retention of the talent and how to manage the attrition, right? So some of the pinpoint is that they want to have the most comprehensive and streamlined process for hiring process so that they can secure the candidate in the shortest possible time. And they also want to have the best employee engagement process as well, right? And you should look out for some of the triggers or we say like the compelling event that you know they're going to prioritize this initiative, right? One example, right? Are they doing a mass hiring season? And another example that we've done in Philippines, right? Our client that they need to rush for all their employee to sign off the tax filing document that they need to send it to the regulator, right? And you need to find out like what are the HCM platform that they are using, right? So some of the popular HCM platform in the market, like Workday, SAP Success Factor, that we already have a very strong integration. Okay. Another example is the sales department. And for this is really depending on the industry, right? If you're talking to the banking, right, it can be the corporate banking transformation team. If you're talking to the insurance client, right, it could be their insurance distribution head, right? Obviously, their KPI is really about revenue and time to market. And their key pain point that they're trying to address is really providing the best sales process and best tools for their sales team. Some of the trigger points is that are they upgrading their CRM systems to like a Salesforce, to Microsoft Dynamics, where we have very strong integration, or are they losing revenue, right, because of the manual contract processes, right? In fact, we have a lot of customer, like in 2020, they came to us to partner with us. It's basically to address this kind of concern, right? So with this information, in future, before you meet your client, take a quick look at this cheat sheet as well as this persona information, so that you can better frame your conversation, you can speak their language, so that you can earn their trust, right? So you better position yourself as a trusted advisor to your customer, right? So yeah, with this, I will hand over back to Raymond, that we'll move on to the Q&A. Yep.
Thank you. Do not log off yet. We have a Q&A. Right now we are doing our Q&A. And after our Q&A, we have our next steps that's coming out as well. Okay, is there any questions? You have questions, please go to a Q&A. I also put on a poll as well, right? Whether you find the enablement sessions, the collaterals useful for you. I'll post the poll in 1 minute while we wait for the Q&A.
Yeah, Raymond, I'll just read some of the questions that is on chat. First question is from Hannah. She's just asking, all of these new features, are they available in all our different packages, standard, enterprise, business? Perhaps Sang-Hoon, you want to?
Yeah, so I also answer in the answer panel. So the details that which plan available to having individual capability is not announced very detailed yet. So it will be announced very soon, I believe so. So we'll update to you after some further announcement is happened.
Okay, great. Then the other question is about whether e-notary is available in APAC or not.
Officially, this is not available at this moment. So the e-notary is only applicable for US customer. So in case of your customer have the office in US, that is applicable.
Great, thanks for that. So we just need to keep an eye out for that when it becomes available. The next question is, do both parties need to be DocuSign account holders for the joining agreement feature to work?
Yes, definitely need to. So the organizing the network is the usually happen by mother insurance company, for example. So the big because of the they want to their reseller using proper document from their company, which is under control by them. So the reseller partner, they are just okay with the standard plan as well. So the reseller point of view, my mother insurance company already grant access to a specific document in a specific plan of the policy. So they just pick up this file to sending the envelope to the customer. So again, the mother company, insurance company, they need some kind of enterprise plan, but the reseller, they are good enough with the standard plan.
Great. That's all the questions that is on chat.
Okay. I have just ended the poll for our enablement. All right. 37 of you responded, and all of you say yes, right? You find that the enablement collaterals that shared useful to you. That's very good. Thank you so much. All right. Is there any other questions? Any other questions before we kind of like end the call? Okay. I'll put on another poll with regards to the product update which Shang Kun has done. Right. Please let us know whether you like it or not. Under the Q&A panel, I think we also answer a few questions as well. I think Shang already answered it, right? First question was, are these new features available for all packages, standard, business, enterprise, right? Shang answered it, right? These are basically not announced yet, but we will come back to you once we have that. The second questions on the Q&A panel, do both parties need to have a DocuSign account holders for a joint agreement feature to work? I think Shang already answered that, and is yes, right? You need to make sure that is being done. And the last one is that what is the difference between the joint agreement functions and document visibility function, right? So Shang Kun has already answered that. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to give another 10 seconds before I close off the poll as well. Any other questions? All right, there are two more questions that is in. First questions on the Q&A. Any promotions this quarter? Any promotions? Wilson, Kelly, any promotions this quarter?
Yeah, we'll be working with our distributor, right, to launch some of the incentive programs, right? So we will keep you posted. Okay,
thank you, Wilson. All right, I'm going to just end the poll as well. Next question, I think Shang-Fu is already answering it, right? So aside from the tabs, what are the differences between Power Automate and templates?
Yep, let me answer. So the Power Automate integration with SharePoint. So as you see, many of the customers managing their content in SharePoint, but they want to get control for the signing process at the same time. So when sending out the signing, the document which is stored in SharePoint, they want to use the predefined signing process to ensure that the signing process is exactly follow the process that defined in the Power Automate. The template capability in DocuSign is the also preset kind of the capability, which is the signing workflow is already set and what kind of blending is used and where what kind of the role involved. However, that's only available to initiate via APIs or by web application, but it is not able to starting with the SharePoint content. So Power Automate is more for the allow the SharePoint to starting a more controlled way of the signing process. So that's the difference that Power Automate integration with SharePoint and DocuSign template capability.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Is Power Automate integration available to use at the present?
So I shared in the deck, there is, Raymond, can you go back to slide deck in Power Automate integration? Yes. So it's targeting on April, as you can see on the right top. So I believe this is not released yet, but it's surely released in next month.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Can we integrate DocuSign with AppSheet?
AppSheet means that is a different application. We have the Smartsheet integration, but I first heard about the AppSheet.
Okay. Maybe Manduka, you can clarify. I go to the next